bang. Okay, so we are recording. We're live on Facebook. So on WV UK team page. So it's the first time I've done that, and I hope it's working, guys. But anyway, I got inspired by Stavros and Johnny the other day, so that's cool. Let's just... So can someone just type in the chat that it's coming through live on Facebook as well, just so I know? Margit, hey, Cheltenham UK, Dublin's in the house. Christy, welcome. We got Estonia. Anna, welcome. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy. Maria in Scotland, welcome. Okay, Jonas in Ireland, welcome. Chile's in the house as well. Santiago, awesome. Man, it's going crazy. Steve from Hungary, welcome. Eva, Sweden. Radar, we know Radar.
Happy birthday, Radar.
Happy birthday, of course. Happy
Everybody,
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Radar. Happy birthday to you.
Woo. Awesome.
Been meaning to do that all day.
Yeah, I know. We have too many friends, right? Leo from Ireland, welcome. Fantastic. We got Pierre from Ireland. We got David Lewis from Ireland. Wow, Ireland is in force. Awesome. Okay, so what time we've got a couple of minutes. We just wait for people to jump in. I'm also just going to check on the Facebook page just to see whether it's happening there as well. Let me just see. Oh my God, it is. Everything is going to plan. Thank God. Right. Okay. Okay, right. We are almost there. So we'll give it one more minute before we get started, everyone. Thank you very much. So, man, I was in Wayne's office with all these books, like literally about 3 weeks ago, and man, he has an amazing library of books, and then just on the table as well, there's stacks of books as well. It's all to do with business. It's all to do with, the industry, success, mindset, personal development, psychology. I mean, like, it's crazy. And, you mentioned something, and Wayne will pick up a book and reference the book. His knowledge is just crazy good. So, okay, guys, look, we're on the half hour. This is the time we said we would start. So let's do that because we value very much Wayne's time. So guys, I mean, look, I know everybody knows who Wayne is, but look, let me just give you a quick introduction before we get into it. So I'm going to be asking Wayne some questions today. And so you're going to get to know the Wayne the networker as well, and maybe sort of a bit of the past life as well. And just so you really get to know, because I mean, like, for me, in all my 15 years of being in this industry, I mean, certainly, Wayne is like, he is one of us, right? Truly. So as an executive or an owner of a company, and I've worked with billionaire owners in the past, but this is a guy who, he's one of us, right? And, his background, I mean, he was a U.S. Marine. He was, like $1 million earner in the field in his previous companies. He was always a top producer. So he gets it. And then obviously he had the vision for WorldVentures around 20 years ago. So although the company's only like 12 years old, 13 years old, he had this idea about WorldVentures 20 years ago. That's when the thought came in. And obviously, after a few years of processing, that idea, etc., then eventually it came to launch 2005. And then obviously, when we joined 2010, it was a $50 million company, and we've seen this meteoric rise, to almost $1 billion. And it's just been breathtaking. And like, I had the opportunity to just spend many, many great moments with Wayne, whether it was in Monte Carlo or, this country or that country. And, his mind is, incredible. But the thing is, his heart is something which is truly amazing. So if you ever get it's just to build this business, to have the opportunity to hang out with Wayne. His heart is just incredible. He's one of the most generous people you'll ever meet. And, you become a leader and a success in his company, and he will treat you literally like family. So anyway, Wayne, it's a pleasure to have you here, brother.
My pleasure as well. I enjoy, being in the trenches with you. This is my baby. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. I live it every day, all day long. I have been for over 20 years. And, anytime I get a chance to be a servant leader, I'm happy to do it. This is my, this is my life. This is my chosen profession. And I know it makes a difference. I didn't get to where I am overnight. Every conversation I had mattered. Every book I read mattered. Every friend and teammate I have mattered. And my life is still unfolding. Our company is still unfolding. And when you have leadership on the rise, your company's on the rise. And so anything I can do to help build another leader, I'm happy to do, especially like you, Shush, leading the way. A lot of times I don't have time to reach in and say, hey, let's do this. I wait for the leaders to call me and go, hey, Wayne, will you do this for me? And can we do this together? And then, every time immediately, I'm yes. I figure out how to get it. We figure out how to get it done. And so here's you taking the lead, just being a great upline. And then getting everybody together, allowing me to step in and be a servant leader. And
yeah. So if you go to the dictionary and look up servant leader, you'll see Wayne Nugent, by the way. Right.
I don't, I like to think that I would be that way in anything that I do. I have been as an employee and a friend and all that, but here it takes on a whole nother meaning. This chosen profession, this industry, it's if you help other people get what they want, you'll automatically get what you want. And you just got to put other people first, like this book right here.
Yeah. How many years, bro, have you been in the industry now?
It's been, for me, it's been over 20 years. I'd been approached, more before that.
What just out of interest, I'm not sure if I know this, but what were you doing before network marketing? Yeah. What was your background there?
Fortunately, I grew up in a very entrepreneurial home. My dad was a businessman in real estate and restaurants and prize fighters, racehorses, oil wells, all kinds of stuff. And so I watched my dad make millions and lose millions. And he taught me the mindset of an entrepreneur and all this. And so I feel really fortunate. I know that gave me a little bit of an advantage, not being in business with my dad or anything, just watching it and having that reference point. So my mom and dad got divorced, and he was a very successful businessman. I grew up poor with my mom, so I saw both sides. I grew up really poor over here, where we're selling furniture out of our front yard, just to, have food to eat. We didn't even have electricity. We didn't take the money and then pay the electric bill, but just for food to eat. My little sister and I, we'd go collect bottles. Back in the day, you'd go around and collect bottles, and we'd go take those to the grocery store and turn them in and buy a box of cereal. And we take turns. Captain Crunch for me, or her, it was Fruit Loops. And we'd collect bottles all day, go take them in, buy a box of cereal, and just eat it all in one sitting. no milk.
Wow.
And yeah, selling furniture out of our front yard, you know, and all this. And so, you know, I've lived through some recessions in life, you know. That was back, early on. And so then I go in the Marine Corps, and, you know, they make me the religious lay leader. And so at night I'd pray over the Marines before they go to bed. And then after that, they went to bed, then I would stay up and I would go in the closet they had with other Marines that weren't doing well on the education. And then I would be up late teaching them. And then, you know, when it came to running, when it came to shooting, when it came to, you know, I won a lot of that stuff. So, you know, I'm blue yellow, so I like to have fun. And my yellow side, I'm very caring. But when it comes to like competition, you know, then my red shows up, or when pressed. And
yeah, awesome. So like immediately prior to like getting involved in the industry, what were you doing? Were you working, or did you have a business, or?
Yeah. So after the Marine Corps, when you're transitioning out, they want you to decide what kind of career path you're going to have. And so coming out of the Marine Corps, they want to transfer you from military life to civilian life. What I was doing in the military was running people through the gas chamber and nuclear war and biological war and plot and chemical attacks and things like that. And so as an instructor, I'd be on the front lines with all the different units, teaching them how to do their job while in their gas mask and things like that. And then I would be working in the command post with the generals to plot any kind of attack that there might be. And so again, I saw both sides. I've been on the front lines, and I've been back in the rear with the generals and stuff, and saw that mindset and how that operates. But I got all meritorious promotions in the Marine Corps, but I come out and I didn't want to do that in the real world, in the job world, like do anything to do with like hazardous waste and things like that. So what I had to reapply what I learned in the Marine Corps about leadership and being an instructor and running a unit and things like that. But as far as what my MOS was, I didn't want a job in the real world, in the civilian world, doing that. So you get in front of a computer and do a personality test of sorts, saying, what are you naturally good at? And, you know, and then you go, where am I going to go to school for this? And so as a young man, I'm looking at the schools where there's the most girls, you know, and then I'm like, okay, who makes the most money? What careers make the most money? And you come to find out it's the CEO a lot of times. So what's the path to CEO? And, you know, I remember there were a lot of salespeople that became CEOs. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, and I didn't have any experience to apply towards the real job market, but I wanted to go sell. The only job I could get was going door to door selling cable TV. But if you study the history of people that are willing to do that, go door to door, like here in Texas, we have the 4 seasons. I mean, it's winter, spring, summer, and fall. I mean, it gets really, you know, cold and wet and rainy, but it also gets really hot during the summer. And, you know, to go from door to door to door like that, and people hated the cable system. So it would shut the door in your face, or, you know, so you got to learn how to build some instant rapport when that door opens, and make an offer. And, you know, you got to hook them in the beginning and just get them to listen to more, and, you know, hopefully, you know, uncover that need and get them to sign up on the spot. So there's a lot of great life lessons growing up the way I did, spiritually, with a dad that was an entrepreneur, you know, being in the Marine Corps, where in the Marine Corps, you can't quit. If you want to quit, you can sit in jail. That's the option. In the real life, you can quit a job, and you go from job to job to job, where you can quit a network marketing company and go from one network marketing company to the next. But in the Marine Corps, you can't quit. If you quit, they just throw you in jail. First, they beat you up. You know, if you're not carrying your weight at your unit, they're gonna beat you up first. But the other kind of quit is you're just gonna go sit in the brig. And so that's what I got out of the Marine Corps. The leadership, there is no quit, no excuses, improvise, adapt, overcome, you know, and how do you apply that in the job world. So I was a good employee, but the jobs I had limited me. And it was just really frustrating because what does it take to move up fast in the job world? You can't move up as fast as you want to. But once you get into sales, okay, you can grow, but they limit your territory. As a networker, I recruited a lot of people that did like pharmaceutical sales, and they made good money. But once their check got big enough, there was always some bean counter coming in and saying, how do we cut this person's check enough where we get the money, but they won't quit? And so it's just really, infuriating. And so I saw that over and over with a lot of different kinds of jobs, where if you were a good enough salesman and you built up a market or you built up a territory, somehow they would somehow figure a way to cut your pay. But in network marketing, I saw that I could build a team nationwide. I could build a team all over the world. I'm only limited, by really the effort I put in. And so that's a mindset.
So how did you see network marketing? I mean, like, who introduced you? I mean, like, can you remember?
Okay, I was going door to door selling cable TV.
Oh, okay.
And this couple was out working in the yard with their flower bed. They had a nice house, and they were putting flowers in and doing all this. And they said to me, "Hey, you seem like a sharp young man. Do you ever look at ways of making extra money?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And they go, "Well, come on, come inside." And this was back before it was dangerous to go in a stranger's house, So I go in and they pull out the whiteboard and they start drawing the circles, and they talk about cutting out the middleman and all this and into consumer. And so, it was Amway. And now as a young single guy in my apartment, there's no food in the refrigerator or the pantry. My cupboards are bare, but Amway was all about load up the house, full of, shampoo and other things that they had. So it didn't really resonate with me. It didn't click with me, but they gave me a videotape to watch and talk about that penny doubling every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
What would you rather have, $1 million right now up front, or would you rather wait and have a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? And it turned out to be, I don't know, 5 million. So, I don't know, that just kind of, I remember laying in bed watching that, and it just stuck with me. Wait, okay, so if I join network marketing, I can go recruit other salespeople. Okay, well, that's cool. And I can override them and I could teach them. So I was already doing this for the cable system. They would send me around the country to train, to open up new markets and train the salespeople, because I was like doing really well. I was kind of the best at it. So, but it was because of that Marine Corps attitude and stuff, and numbers and law of averages and all those things. But they wouldn't give me the title of manager or the additional pay of manager because I didn't have a college degree. And at the time, the cable system I was with at the time, the management had no less than a master's degree. And so there were other young men that I was working with that were going to college to get a degree so that they can get promoted within this company. They provided medical benefits and dental, all this kind of thing. It was actually a well-run company. And they would put me on the Kaizen teams, the continuous improvement teams. And so, I always offered some good suggestions and some good insights, coming from the sales force and talking to management about what we should do. And they said, he's a sharp young man. He's a hard worker. He's a sharp young man. He's teaching me. He's got good ideas. Next promotion that comes available, Nugent's got it. And they said, well, there's a problem. He doesn't have a college degree. It didn't matter that I'd been in the Marine Corps and Desert Storm and that kind of thing. That didn't matter. So they just didn't promote me. And so I really felt limited. And then I got invited to see network marketing, and I got invited to a meeting, and, I met people that were making, several thousand a week, 6,000, 10,000, 20,000 a week. So that impressed me. And they so I would get invited for years, but I never joined because there was a little bit of that fear. It's the fear of the unknown. Can I really do this? And it's different. And most people don't do this. And so we don't like to admit it, that we have this herd mentality. We really are like sheeple. But I think admitting it's the first step. You know, once you can admit that baked into you is this need to belong. Tony Robbins talks about it a lot, you know, the need to belong. So there's the hierarchy of you know, the pyramid of hierarchy where it's like self-actualization. But with Tony Robbins, he's talking about the need to belong. And it's one of the strongest human needs. And so as soon as you do something different, then you're made fun of, you know, then you're ostracized. And so when everybody else has a job, some kind of job that they can relate to, they validate that and they support you in that or whatever. It's just normal. But as soon as you say you're doing something different, like network marketing, they have their their opinion that's based on really limited information. So one of the pieces of advice I would give you is, as you go about doing this job, are people going to say to you, hey, is this a pyramid scheme? If you're doing the job, you're going to hear that. I mean, I've been doing this over 20 years. I still hear it. It never goes away. It just doesn't faze me. It doesn't shut me down. I keep going. But it's my first clue. If somebody ever says to me, hey, Wayne, is this a pyramid scheme or is this network marketing? You know, that's my first clue. They don't know what they're talking about, because nobody in the industry that's ever been a part of a company and ever pursued success or ever read a book or ever studied it would ever say or label it, is this a pyramid scheme? They will ask you, is this network marketing? Is this direct sales? But they would never say, is this a pyramid? Is this one of those pyramid schemes? So yeah, those people are saying something with a negative tone and a negative connotation, but that's your job. Right there, that's your job. That's the person that you need to try and talk to and win over to your way of thinking, like out of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People Without Causing Resentment. You know, this is where reading these kind of books matter, because if you don't, you're going to go into shutdown mode. So how to win friends and influence people. So when somebody gives you that kind of an objection, do you take it personally? Do you go into shutdown mode? Do you feel ostracized? And then if they make you feel small, then do you act small? There we go, my man. And so readers are leaders, you know, and leaders are readers.
Absolutely. So how important would you say that confidence is to creating success?
Let me say this first, because in Amway, one of the main books they read that they have that they teach their people to read is this one, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so this is another one. If you haven't read this one, you need to read this one. So confidence is really important for you to have a quality of life. If you're not self-confident, then what does your life look like? If you are self-confident, how do you approach life, and what's the quality of your life? So obviously, I think we can agree that the more confidence you have, probably the more you're squeezing out of life. So the question is, if you're not confident, why not? And I think it's because as humans, we naturally just compare ourselves to each other and to other people. And I went through Landmark Forum. It's another training. And I remember them talking about the racket. What's your racket? What's your winning strategy? Or something. So in there, I remember they were telling me, you know, here's what's interesting. You're afraid to talk to somebody, but they're also afraid to talk to you. And it's like, while you're being afraid, they're being afraid. So anytime you walk into a room and there's a bunch of strangers and people are hesitant to just go up and meet somebody and just to network. So this is something you can learn to do. Again, you can be the first to smile and put out your hand, and just all of a sudden, boom, the ice breaks, the walls come down. And once you get past that initial part, all of a sudden people are open up and they're nice and they're friendly, and it all works out from there. It's just that initial part is so scary. Like when you first go to jump in a swimming pool and it's cold or a little cool and it's going to hurt, you know, a little bit. Just get over it. Just jump in. So it's the same thing with meeting somebody. You know, be proud of yourself. Be the first, because then you can make life happen rather than sit back and wait for life to happen to you. Wait for somebody to come to you. You can go start initiating the conversation. And so this book, again, it talks about become more interested in other people. You'll make more friends, you know, in 2 months than you will in 2 years, becoming more interested in other people than trying to get them to be interested in you. And always talking about yourself. Learn to talk about other people. And that's one of the things that made me a good recruiter, is that in my mind, I said, what if the whole world was just like me? It'd be cool for a while, you know, but then stuff would start breaking down and go bad and all this. What makes life interesting is that we all are different, is that we all have our own past and stories and parents and upbringing and all this. And so, you know, the more you become interested in other people, the more the whole world opens up for you, and you can meet other people. And this was, you know, before the internet. This was before Facebook and things like that. This was before cell phones. I mean, you really had to walk up to somebody and introduce yourself. And so that's a skill that you still need to be able to do in person as we go through life, interrupt their screen time. But then how do you introduce yourself online also? And you have to be able to do that on Facebook. And now another thing that made me good is believing in what I have, you know, that it's beneficial to them. You'll hold yourself back from meeting somebody or calling somebody or doing the job if you think it's all for you. Because most of us, even though we have goals and we want to make more money and things like that, if we feel like I'm trying to sell you or recruit you for what I get, most people don't like that. I don't either. And what propelled me into action is when I started believing in my company and believing in my product and believing in my opportunity, and that me not telling them is doing them a disservice. I'm not even giving them a chance to say no. I'm not giving them a chance to learn about something new and different that they don't know about unless I tell them, because we're in the word of mouth business, right? We're not in, there's no advertising for this. So if I don't tell them about it right now, they might not learn. And if they do learn, they're going to learn it from somebody else. And then I'm going to wish that it had been me that told them about it. So I might as well just approach them in a very caring way, that I'm not in this just to get from them. I'm in this to just show them, have them see something that they don't know about, do it in a very friendly, consultative kind of way. There's selling, there's hardcore selling and hardcore closing, and there's salespeople like that. I'm not in that category. I like being a salesperson that's consultative selling. I have a lot of information about this company, about this product, about this opportunity. And what I want to do is try and take that information and put it in your head so that you can either accept it or reject it. Say, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not. But make your decision based on all the information, not on, a quick 2-minute sales pitch. So then I developed the rule that says I don't tell them anything until I can show them everything, where I can set an appointment and show them, all the details inside and out. Because I noticed when I try and shortcut the sale and I go right at it, people make a quick snap, no decision. And that wasn't working. So the definition of insanity, keep doing something that doesn't work over and over again and expect a different result. So I did enough things over and over again that didn't work. And I just paid attention. I didn't quit. See, when I didn't do it right and it didn't work, I didn't quit. This is very important.
So actually, just on that point, let me ask you a question, Wayne, right? So I
Take
mean,
accountability.
yeah. So you like mentored like some of the greatest leaders in our industry, right? So you must have seen many people who started when they first started, and when they went out and didn't get that instant success, and then they start doubting themselves. Maybe they start worrying about what people have said. Maybe they got some negative comments, etc. I mean, how would you handle that with these new people?
Yeah, so there are a lot of pro networkers that their strategy on building a network marketing business is to recruit other pro networkers and offer them a deal and stuff like that. And I don't do that. That's never been my way. I've always been the grassroots networker. I've always worked with beginners and new people that never been in sales before, never owned their own business before, never done network marketing before. I mean, like, and trained them up. And so I would say, hey, let's go to the mall and, point somebody out. And I don't care who you pick who you, of all these people walking by and everything, or working in store, pick somebody you want me to go talk to. And I would go talk to them and do that. And I'd say, okay, now watch this. There's never been a deal so good that everybody's going to say yes to it. Right. So, not pushing any, religion on you or anything, but, in terms of being a Christian, if Jesus is offering eternal life and somebody says no, that happens all the time. Maybe but there's no deal so good everybody's going to do it. There's no product so good it just jumps off the shelf and just sells itself and all that kind of stuff. It always requires a salesperson. So I would say, watch this. And I would have $100 bill, and just to prove this point, and I'd walk up to strangers and I have the $100 bill in my hand, and I walk up and say, hey, I'll sell you this $100 bill for $20. And they pause and they hesitate. They look at you funny. They're like, what's the catch? And the catch is you should have taken it because I ain't offering it again. Now, what if they say yes? Okay, well, now they got a $100 bill for $20. Now I know they got some money. And now I know they're open-minded, and like engage in listening in life and taking a good deal when they see one. So now I want to recruit them and get my money back, and show them a way, because they obviously are an adventurous spirit, an open-minded person, whatever. So I'm going to try and recruit them. Now, if I lose $80 on the deal, and they don't look or listen, and I don't get their phone number and email address or something like that to present to them later, either way, I still just taught the people I was trying to teach that most people are going to reject that offer, number one. But number two, if they do take it, watch me. I'm getting their name, phone number, and email address, and the numbers always work out. I mean, that $80 will come back to me tenfold based on the people I meet and who I recruit and who I build up after that. So, that's just me being a businessman and being an entrepreneur and, producing my own leads. Yeah. And this is another important thing. If you do a really good job of your warm market and tap in your warm market of friends and family, and don't take no for an answer until after they've seen it, then you'll taproot. Who do you know? Who do they know? Who do they know? Who do they know? Everybody's top 10 or 20 list. Everybody's top 10 or 20 list. And can you get 1 or 2 or 4 out of that top 10 or 20 list? Absolutely. So if you do that, you never run out of people to talk to.
Yeah. So what about when the new person says, I don't want to speak to my friends and family? I mean, you must have had that thousands of times like me.
Yeah. So, this is what I taught Jefferson and Matt and them in the beginning too, is, you are who you say you are until you prove otherwise. So I would take them through a process where we pull out a sheet of paper and let's list all the reasons you can't do this, right? What is it that's so weak about you that you can't do this? What's going to hold you back? That you don't have the time, the money, the experience, the credibility, the knowledge, and whatever it is, you're right. Any one of these will do. Pick one of them. That's all you need. Any one of these will do, and it won't work for you. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So what you have to do is take a list like that and burn it. You know, you focus on the other side. Why could you do this? Why do you want to do this? What do you need to learn to do this? You ask, whatever question you ask, you're going to come and pull back answers. And if you ask negative questions, you're going to get negative answers, and it's going to suck the life out of you and you're going to be done. But if you ask positive questions, you're going to get positive answers. So once you say, why could I do this? Why would I be good at this? How if I was going to succeed at this, what would that look like? And blah, blah, blah. So you do that. And then, so that's very empowering. And this is where you learn to think about what you're thinking about. And as long as you're thinking about something negative and why you can't or why it won't work, you're holding yourself back and you're slowing yourself down. I knew that there's a job to be done here, and my time is limited, and fast is fun and slow sucks. I wasted no time on negativity. It was so time consuming just to go out there and do the job that I'm not going to waste any time doubting my company, doubting my product, doubting my pay plan, doubting the industry, doubting myself, doubting this. So you got to believe in God, in my opinion, because if you believe in God, you'll believe in yourself. How do you believe in God really and then not believe in yourself when you got the power of God within you? With God with you, who could be against you? So I say you really, really, when you're alone most of the time, and you're alone in your head most of the time, that's when you're talking to God. So believe in God, believe in yourself, have confidence, and then believe in other people, have confidence in other people. And that was another thing that made me good. I believed in the new person more than they believed in themselves. And I was able to pull that out of them. I expected them to grow. I expected them to learn. I expected them to succeed. I expected to do it with them. I didn't sign people up and say, okay, now go work and make sales and make me rich. You know, I'll see you when you get back. No, I said, let's go do this together. I always train my people every day, doing it with them, hand in hand, in the car, watching me, you know. So I knew I had to put myself through it first. That's why I always say the only way through is through. I put myself through the meat grinder first and got so in tune with the mud and the dirt and learned to love it, right? And then now I'm acclimated to the mud and the dirt. You know, now I can go do it with them. I know what the grind is. And I don't like that way of describing it. The grind, the mud, the dirt, the pain, no such thing as success without sacrifice. So I learned to reframe it. I said, well, if I'm going to be really working this the way I need to work it, with no doubt and no fear and no negativity and go, 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 you know, I want to make it fun. So I want to be a good person. I want to be a happy person. And I want to have fun doing it. And so I only want to do it with other people that are positive, not negative, and fun, not boring, and happy. And so that was just my rule, because if this is going to be my chosen profession, if they gave a doctorate degree in this industry, I would have it. That's how, because I take it seriously like that. I don't look at it like some sideline money-making thing, some deal. You know, I look at this like a career, like a profession. Like if I was going to be, I don't want to be a doctor. I respect them and I appreciate them, you know, especially when you're sick or hurt or injured. And I don't want to be a lawyer. I respect them for everything they had to learn. And dude, read a contract, right? Read all kinds of, it's just boring and crazy. And I don't want to do that. And so whatever you do for a living, you're going to talk about it a lot. If you are a doctor, you're talking about sick people a lot. If you're a lawyer, you're talking about suing somebody or being sued a lot. It's just negative in nature, you know. And I didn't want to be my office to be a hospital, you know. So God bless the people who do. Me, and I'm not after everybody, you know. Me, I wanted to be in the happy business. You know, I wanted to be in the fun business. I want to be in the travel, something that's positive to do every day and talk about every day. And I want to build a team of people that I can go travel with. And because I don't want to travel the world by myself. I did that in the Marine Corps. And it was beautiful and fun and all this, but I would get somewhere beautiful and fun going, man, so-and-so should be here. My best friend should be here. I wish I had a girlfriend to be here with me. I wish, I was always longing for some other human to be with me. So hence, you should be here. Not like, ha, 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 I'm successful and you're not, and you should be here, ha, ha. No, more like, you should be here. I'm here and I'm thinking about you. You should be here. I wish you were here with me. That's the sentiment, behind the sign. It's very, you should be here, not ha, 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 you should be here.
Yeah.
So, but confidence is very key. And this is where self-reflection matters, because if you're not confident, why not? What happened to you growing up? What happened to you in the past? What baggage are you carrying around? What guilt, shame, fear, lack that are you carrying? And you gotta put that to bed.
How do you fix that?
Well, again, if you believe in God, you're human and you make mistakes. Or if you truly are a victim of something bad, there are people out there that have been a part of something bad, or something bad was happened to them. And like I said, you don't forgive for that person, you forgive for you, so that you're not carrying it around. And once you're aware of that as an idea and a concept, then it's like, oh, aha, I'm carrying this around, and it's baggage and it's luggage and it's slowing me down in life. And so you learn to go through the process of forgiveness. It's very important. And again, like with Jesus, my gosh, look at what he had to forgive. Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. They crucified him.
This book, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right?
Yes. Yeah. T. Harback.
As to your personal blueprint, right?
Yeah.
And what you just spoke about there, Wayne, that sometimes people have this blueprint, comes from their upbringing, right? These scars, if you like, that create the limiting beliefs in life. So the thing is, this is
I'm not even talking about business failures. I'm talking about rape and molestation and just shit when you're a child, being bullied as a kid, stuff again that makes you feel. And again, like I said, as humans, we compare ourselves, pretty or ugly, tall or short, smart, dumb, whatever. Look, inside most people, there's some insecurities. But how are those insecurities serving you? How are those insecurities propelling you? They're not. So once you wake up to the fact that they're not, then you got to get rid of them. And once you realize God don't make no junk, and that once you realize your power with a good idea, it's not, look, like WorldVentures, it's not just me, okay? As many books as I've read, as much personal development as I've done, as much introspection and prayer and everything that I've done, without an income vehicle like WorldVentures, I can't change your zip code. I can't change your family tree. But me and my personal development and my ability as a coach to take knowledge and experiences out of here and put them in your head, I can inspire you, I can motivate you, I can train you, I can help you. But if you go back to your old job, making an hourly wage or that whatever that salary is, you're still going to be limited financially. But once I train you up with the right kind of thinking and feeling and mind, body, and spirit, okay, where you have that kind of congruency and intention, then apply that towards an income vehicle like WorldVentures, where you have residual, and where first you have leverage, and leverage comes from leadership. But if you've been beat down in life and you don't see yourself as a leader, that's because you're so busy being a follower, following the path of everybody else, which is statistics. And once you realize that most people are a financial statistic, okay, that's what traffic is to me. Traffic is a herd of sheeple, and they're going to their 9-to-5 job, to make 40,000, 50,000 a year on average now, 59 blue collar, white collar jobs. Okay. When you take a number like 59,000 of all jobs, blue collar, white collar, averaged out 59,000 a year, and you look at what kind of food you can eat, what restaurants you can eat at, what kind of shampoo you can have, what kind of car you can have, what kind of house you can have, it is very average. If you don't wake up to this, by default, you're going to be average. And then you're going to be on your deathbed and knew that you had more in you, but you played it safe. And you settled for mediocrity, and you settled for average. But all of a sudden, if you listen to what I'm saying right now, and you learn to believe in God and believe in yourself and believe in other people and believe in a good company and believe in a good product and believe in your then all of a sudden you can get your energy behind that. And now you can change your life, because here you can be a leader. We live in the information age, and you have information about a company and a product with no competition, that's open in 35 countries, that somebody can go from zero to millionaire. That potential is there and proven over and over again by lots of people. So it's proven. You have information about this, but having the information doesn't make you any money. If you don't tell anybody, if you keep it a secret, you're not going to make any money. But if you have the information and you're willing to share the information, not just for your own personal gain, but for them. If you have this information and you don't tell them about it, you're saying no for them automatically. But if I can have this information, understand it and believe in it, and then go share that information, don't I deserve something out of that? Isn't my time valuable? If I'm the one that took time out of my life to share some powerful information with you about a business we can be in together and play teamwork in and help each other succeed. See, that's the thing. Before I ever call somebody and recruit somebody, I already have a vision in my head of what we're going to go do together, what the possibility is. And if they reject it initially, they might say yes later. But if they reject it, I started out with the right intention. I had that vision. Anytime I recruit somebody, a stranger, why would I want to recruit this person in the first place? What is it about them that I see from the outside or in a conversation with them? What are they saying? What are the trigger words that I'm hearing that would make me even want to recruit them and put them on my team and pour any time and knowledge into them? And then I don't keep that a secret. I tell them. I say, look, do you ever look at ways to making extra money? And shut up. Yes or no? If they say no, you didn't get rejected. You never put it out there. If I ask somebody, hey, do you ever look at ways to make extra money? And shut up. If they say no, did they reject me? Or it? No, they don't know anything yet. They just said, no, I never look at ways to make extra money. But most people would feel foolish saying that. So most people would go, yeah, I look at ways. Well, the reason I ask is, and you pay them a sincere compliment. Because I've already done the math in my head. Why am I talking to this person? Why would I want to recruit this person? Why would I want them on my team? And I tell them, I say, because you really seem like a friendly person, an outgoing person, a go-getter. You look like a traveler. You provided me a really good service. There's something in my head that I saw about them that I felt like they'd be good at this business, and with me teaching them would be really good, and the odds of success go way up. So you can't give what you don't have. I get the knowledge first, and then I can give the knowledge. It's in giving that we receive. They're like going, wow, this guy is a sharp guy. Well, this guy, I get a sense of he knows stuff. This guy's on a mission. This guy's going somewhere. I'm afraid not to join this guy. People are afraid not to join me,
And I think it's important, especially for new people. This is where obviously a new person is not going to have that confidence and belief, but obviously that's where the third party. So, if I was sponsored by Wayne, I was new, I would just get people in front of him, right?
Yeah, and that's what I taught Matt and Jefferson, because they've been doing networking before. Matt had tried Amway and another Aussie 2-up deal investment thing, and Jefferson had tried Excel Telecommunications, and so I met them, and they'd been exposed to network marketing, but they had no success. But when I locked arms with them and I got in the trenches with them, and that's when they had success and I had success too. Yes. So there's somebody upline from you waiting for you to say, I'm next. Here I am, I'm next. And I don't know who came before me, and I don't know who quit on you before me, but that ain't me. I'm hungry, okay? And if you're a full-time leader that can teach me and take me under the wing and do it with me, boom, I'll run all day long with you. And
this is golden. This is golden. This is key.
I taught them, don't confuse it. You're not like way down here, and so I'm already the millionaire. I'm already the top money earner, right? And I'm saying don't confuse it. Even though you're way down here or something, flip it. You're the CEO of your own business, and I'm your #1 star employee. You got to be the boss of me. You got to learn how to put me to work. So that's what I taught Jefferson and Matt. I said, it's your job. It's my job. It's my job as the upline and the leader. It's my job to teach you how to put me to work to make you a lot of money. But it's your responsibility for you to be a pleasure for me to work with. Because I don't have to work. And I want this to be fun and energizing. And if you're like negative and fearful and doubtful and skeptical, and dude, I can't be around you. You're sucking the life out of me. But if you're a believer and you're optimistic and you're hopeful and you're energetic and you're willing to break some eggs along the way, and who cares? That's part of the process. You're not going to have it perfect from day one. But if you'll learn fast, and if we can do this together and I can point out, here's what we could have done better, or, I think we did a pretty good job there. I don't think it was us. I really think it was them, because there's 10% of the people that'll buy anything you put in front of them. Okay. It doesn't matter what it is. They're buyers. And there's 10% of the people that will never buy anything. I don't care how good it is. They could have cancer. You could have the cure to cancer, and they ain't saying no, even if you charge them $1. Then there's the other 80% of the people in the middle that you can have some influence with. Now that's your job. Your job is to really care about those. So if you sell somebody that's always a buyer, don't puff up and beat your chest and go, how great I am, because the next person you meet is going to be the one that won't buy anything ever. And then they'll deflate you. You just got to take a very, methodical approach to this, a very business-minded approach to it, which is the law of averages. Some will, some won't. So what next? The question is, did you do a good job? Do you know your company? Do you know your product? Are you going forward no matter what? But if you try to recruit me and I got a sense that you're just trying this, you're just testing this out, that you're flaky, that you're wishy-washy, that you're weak, that you're not on a mission, I'm not joining with you. You're not a real leader. You're just dipping your toe in the water and you're going to try it. I mean, there's no sense of confidence or certainty or conviction. So you do have to, I don't say score in 24 unless you're sold out, unless your light bulb went off and you're sold out and you've seen lots of things before and wow, this is the best thing you've ever seen and you're sold out. Okay, now you can go score in 24. But for most people, no, I say get in, get sold, to your core, and then go sell. And so I'm going to take you through a process where I inoculate you, because I know that you're going to go out there and you're going to encounter a lot of negativity. And it's going to happen. It's the job description. So if all of a sudden I sign you up and you're all happy and excited, but then I put you out there and you're not totally sold out yet, that somehow I sold you, somehow I convinced you, somehow I closed you, and you're not really fully aware and fully bought in, and I send you out there, you're going to encounter some resistance. You're going to cave in and just quit.
And that's where we have the events, right? Which are major inoculation centers, if you like.
Okay. All right. So let me cover a few things on this. There's the 5 elements of a viable income opportunity. So when you read the books written about network marketing, the first chapter always deals with, choosing the right company, the right leadership, the 5 things you look for: the right company, right time, right product, right pay plan, right support tools and systems. And when you have all 5 of those going on, you don't have to be good, because it's good, and it is going to be good with or without you. You just want to hook on and go. So the right company, it's the leadership. Now, my advice is, I see some companies popping up where you don't know who the leader is. Believe me, I know. I've tried to do some background searches. I can't find this leader. So if there's a problem with them and you got to sue them, you can't, where's the corporate headquarters? Where's the leader? They're a ghost. Okay. There's a company starting up right now that's like that, and questionable, highly, highly suspect, highly, highly questionable. And, be careful. So, what's the leadership? What's their background? What's their experience and all that kind of thing? Then, the legal and the funding. So you look for those key things, and here we are. I've been doing this over 20 years in travel. More time than that on other things, but just in travel over 20 years. Before there was Expedia and everything else. So I've learned a lot. And then being in 35 countries and having that kind of a broad footprint where you can join today and just plug in and be going around the world, already. I mean, that's so huge. But at the right time. Startup is not the right time. More than 80%, 90% of companies fail within their first 2 years, despite all the hype, all the intentions, all the money that gets put in. I've seen it where deals come along where you got some big investor that puts tens of millions of dollars in, and boom, they're gone. Doesn't matter. Didn't matter how much money they put in. It doesn't matter even at that point, a lot of the experience. I mean, I've seen so many companies go. Startup is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. So we're proven as far as our leadership and experience. We're proven as far as we're not a startup. We've been around for 12 years. It flip-flops. When you go over 10 years, you're over 90% likely to stay in business, even with any challenges that come along the way. And only 10% likely to go out of business if you're over 10 years old. That's us. So most companies never run up to $1 billion and last over 12 years like we are. So we're just a very good company in that regard. So right company at the right time. Then the right product. Travel's got mass market appeal. And we have the same cruise ship, the same Hawaii, the same resorts. We just have it for less money. And not only for less money, but where you can actually earn it, but then go as a group, especially like where you feel safe going to different places and stuff. And so there's no other travel company like ours. It requires, serious travel centric infrastructure, serious travel know-how. We have that. No other company does. Okay. And as a startup, you got to build volume. Whatever company name you start up under, that has no volume with the travel industry vendors and suppliers. So they're not going to give you any deals. And it just takes years and years to build up the volume before you actually really do get the deals. And it took me 20 years to get here, and I've got, a lot of vendors. So right company, right time, right product, and then right pay plan. There's only so many ways to carve up a dollar. And a lot of the times they'll say, here's how much money you can make as a leader in our company versus this company. Well, if that's true and the leaders are making all the money, then you're not getting the middle class. You're not getting the new person. That money has to come from somewhere. And where does it come from? The other growth. So you got to have both. You got to have a way to bring on new people and have them make some money. Okay. But not too much money too quick, because at some point they hit the wall. They don't duplicate. They're in and out of the deal. Boom. You paid out too much money too soon. Wake Up Now is a good example of that. Then you've got the other end of the spectrum where you pay out too much money to the leader. And I watch this with like Organo Gold and other things like that, where you pay too much money to one leader or a leader, the master distributor or the top tier, and they make too much money and you don't build out the middle class. That's what you want. You want a comp plan where the new person can make enough money, gas money, lunch money, every other thing, get going, and then make their way into the middle class, and then get into the top tier. So you want to build leaders within and then retain leaders. And like you mentioned with us and our event strategy, all over the world, there's no other company doing as many events around the world that we are. So people can plug in, build the friendships, build the relationships, you know, and that's really hard to get up and running, really hard to replicate. I mean, that's why no other company is doing it. So we have that in place as well. And that's kind of like tools and the systems and everything as well. And to build what we're,
so now we got to
build it's never existed. We've had to build our own tools and stuff because there's no off-the-shelf stuff. Like if you're starting up a skincare company or a nutrition company, that's been around for so long. There's just things available. When you're building what we're building that's unique and no competition, you have to build your own systems. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Wayne. So obviously we got the boot camps coming up, right?
Yeah.
Now this is our next bout of like the major events, and so I mean, again, like, why should people be there, man? Well, I know why they should be in Mania, because we're going to be there.
Yeah. So people make big decisions at big events because you realize this is way bigger than me. This is way bigger than my sponsor. This is way bigger than just my upline. This is everybody's downline. This is everybody. This is corporate. This is the field. This is everybody. And wow. And this one event I'm at is special. And y'all do these every month around the world like this? Wow. I got people I can meet from around the world and plug them in to a system that's already in place and going on. Well, that helps me succeed faster. If I go to another company that doesn't have that in place, boom, it's not going to work as good. So yes, we went through the Momentum series around the world. Then we came all to United, an epic event at United, arguably the best event we've ever done. And that's so energizing. And people see all the progress we made going into United. They see the progress we've made immediately coming out of United. Now we're going into our boot camp series. And this is military themed. And this is where it's us, taking on the world, other jobs, taking on other companies, taking on other things you might want to do. It's just how we're taking over the travel industry. So it's just, that's a very, and so when you go to these big events, I would rather actually people go to an event than actually join the company or join the business, whether as a rep or a member. I'd rather people go to an event and see this big picture, especially like, or I'm going to probably see you next in Romania, where you've got people from all over the world speaking all different languages. We have all the different translation booths. And so we're going into Romania, and it's just impressive, and all the flags waving from all the different countries, and you realize I'm a part of something way bigger than just me and my city, my state, my country. There's all these countries, and look at all these people. They're happy, and look at them. They're all getting along, and look at them. They're all helping each other and playing team. So yes, by all means, it costs you money to go to an event like air, car, hotel, whatever it's going to be, the event itself. It costs you more money staying at home. If you realize, like people say, the cost of education is expensive, try the cost of ignorance. If you stay home and factor out how much knowledge you're not getting and how much slower you're going to go because you didn't get that experience and that knowledge and those connections and those friendships and that teamwork, you got to factor in that cost of not going. And so my advice is go, go, go. And that's how I've built it for 20 years. And Jefferson and Matt, I always got to the events, and we always had the biggest crew there. And, that's what it's about. So if it's about you as the individual and you make that personal commitment to go, you're going to be blown away by the event itself. But then it's going to be so good and so impactful. You're going to be sitting there wishing that you had your favorite people there. You're going to wish that you had your best friends and family that you want to travel the world with. You're going to wish that you'd have your best business-minded people, go-getters, leaders, doers, entrepreneurs. You're going to wish they were there, because if you would have had these people there, all of a sudden your load would get lighter, because they're going to see it. They're going to see how big it is, and they're going to do it with or without you. And that's what you want. You want it to where you bring them, and then they take ownership. I mean, where they're sold out, where they're going to do this with or without you. I mean, what if you quit? They still go. What if you get hit by a bus? They still go. You know, and that's what you want to build, is something like that where people are locked in. Well, that happens at big events. So if you haven't made the commitment to go yet, I mean, this is a business. This is you investing in your business. This is one of the most important things you can do. It has, you see a bigger picture, you get locked in, your people get locked in. That's where you get traction from and duplication from. And so you're being trained by, you know, our top tier, our best, that have the most experience, that are making the most money. Don't you want to come and get that directly? And it's not just sitting there and having them talk at you. It's everybody you're surrounded by and everybody you're going to meet, and the dinners afterwards and the parties and everything. It's very fun. It's very social. It's really enjoyable.
It's awesome.
And you'll see why we charge money. I mean, because these events are expensive to put on. You know, these aren't like big money makers for us. Okay, this is just an expense that we put out there because we want this available to you because we care about your success.
Yeah, and don't take it for granted, guys, because I'm telling you, there's no other company that has a training system all around the world that we do. So, guys, we've been going for that. Wayne, man, that was just absolutely golden, awesome. So, you know, if you're on Facebook Live, send some hearts and love and put your comments in and just send some love to Wayne for giving up his time. He's hyper busy. So we have to, like, you know, go back and forth several times. Actually, he was going to come on last week, but he got sick. You know, he had a bad throat, had to go to the doctors and whatever. But, you know, we then, you know, managed to get him here today, which has been incredible. Guys, you've had some golden nuggets, not just from the owner and the founder of the company, but as Wayne, the networker, you know, the guy that in the trenches has built people, right? So,
sure. So let me just tell you that here, when people rank up, whether it be by something like this or getting to an event and the path that they're on and they rank up, you know, I'm designing this right now behind the scenes where there's no other company that when you rank up and you get to the IMD status and the things that you're going to have a part of our global bonus pool, the real estate things that we got going on where you're going to be a part of, I don't know. There's nothing like it. Number one, it's big. I mean, it's huge. So there's a lot of things I'm working on behind the scenes where I'm thinking about your future and your family's future generationally. Okay. Legacy wealth. So it's very big. I can share that with Shush. But you'll see this out there because I want people to know about this because it's going to make you want to succeed faster and rank up faster. And so we're doing that career path too to help you get there faster. But we talked about the 5 viable elements of a, you know, real income opportunity: right company, right time, right product, right pay plan, right support tools and systems. But then the 5 hats of a pro networker, you know, this is where you become a good salesperson. And the number one thing you have to sell is time, just like Shush did, saying carve out this amount of time, get on this webinar, get on this live Facebook live feed or whatever, carve out that time, you know, it's gonna be valuable. So anywhere in here, you get a little nugget or a little idea that helps spur you on to the next one, you know, fantastic. This was time well spent for you, building towards your future. So be a good student of the industry where you get inoculated. Become a good salesperson. The number one thing you sell is time. Trust me, give me 30 minutes. You won't be sorry. Let's meet up in person at Starbucks, at your house, whatever. Trust me, give me 30 minutes. I'm not going to let you down. I'm not going to waste your time. Then you become a sales manager where you learn to effectively lead your people and be a good leader, and you get that leverage, okay, where you get some duplication. You don't hit the wall, okay? That's very important. And then you become a business owner, and you learn to pay your taxes. There's some people out there that as they succeed, they didn't pay their taxes. They got themselves in a crunch, and then desperate people do desperate things. And you'll hear more about that. And you're like, why is this leader doing something so crazy? Well, they got a big tax bill that you don't know about. So my advice all along is always tithe, pay your taxes, invest in your business, you know, go into events and incentives in your team, you know, run your business like a business. And I learned all this the hard way. And then also the 5th is as a coach and a mentor and a trainer. And that's where you want to aspire to do, because you don't just learn the most by reading about network marketing and how to do it or training like this. You learn a little bit more by doing it, getting out there and doing it. But then you learn the most by teaching it. So once you go through the grind yourself and you learn how to do it, and then you start teaching it to your downline, then you start learning at a much deeper level. And so my advice is, as you go through this type of training, visualize yourself one day giving the training. One day you're the trainer, you're the speaker, okay? And those are the 5 hats, you know, student, where you get inoculated, salesperson, sales manager, business owner, and then as a coach and a mentor and a trainer. And the last thing I'll leave you with is the 5-step cycle of duplication. And prospecting, and then inviting, and then presenting, enrolling, and training. So prospecting, you should never run out of people to talk to, okay? There's people out there everywhere that love to travel and that want to be in business and make more money than they're making at their job. The world is breeding our prospects. So become a master prospector, then become a master inviter. Learn how to set a good appointment, okay, to get them to look at the information in 30 minutes. And then you give them a good presentation, okay, that answers all the questions and objections before they ever come up. And then you enroll them. You answer them, you show them how to sign up, get them in the computer system, and then you train them. What do we train them to do? Prospect and invite, and get them to the next event. So with that, that's a lot right there. I mean, man, you can keep busy for a lifetime on that stuff right there. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want to be a servant leader. You know, you're here because you're in WorldVentures and interested in WorldVentures, and I just want to say thank you. You know, you've chosen our company of all the different things out there in life that you could do. I just appreciate you finding us, and we found you, and we found each other. So now let's get good together, and let's build a future together. And thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, brother. Listen, that was awesome. So guys, thank you for all. I mean, we've had record numbers obviously on this. I wonder why, but if you want to meet Wayne and see Wayne in person, get to Bootcamp Romania. I know the majority of the audience is in Europe, so get to Romania. So Wayne, thank you again, my brother, and I will see you in 3 weeks, brother.
Thank you, Shush. You're a great general. I salute you. I will see you at boot camp.
Thank you. See you there, man. Cheers.